MrBeast, the content industrial complex theory. According to this theory, MrBeast isn't just filming challenge videos anymore, he's operating something way bigger, like a studio in disguise. People pushing the theory say it's not about Jimmy Donaldson at all now. It's about this high-speed, high-budget operation that's basically reverse engineering human brains for clicks. Everything's calculated. When someone cries, how long the tension builds. When a prize shows up, all of it. Nothing feels random because it isn't. There are probably entire teams obsessing over the perfect second to add a slow zoom or cue the suspense music. The theory claims his face is almost like branding now, a mascot for a style of content that could plug in anyone and still pull views. Fans argue that MrBeast, that the person might not even matter anymore. His channel could survive without him because the structure's the real star. The pacing, the emotional swings, the rewards, the editing tricks, they're all dialed in like a science experiment. Some even believe the content's been so finely tuned. It's manipulating the algorithm better than most networks. It's not personal storytelling, it's a formula with a human face. According to this theory, MrBeast didn't just master YouTube, he industrialized it. Kai Cenat, the event-based reality show theory. This theory says Kai's streams aren't just random moments, they're structured like an ongoing, unfiltered reality show. The camera's always rolling, but it's not by accident. Everything feels too perfectly chaotic, like it's been shaped into arcs with cliffhangers, cast members, and season finales. Fans point to how he builds tension over weeks, pulls in surprise guests, and stacks events like they're part of a bigger storyline. Mafiathon didn't just happen, but it felt written. The theory argues that Kai is not just streaming whatever happens in his day, he's making sure his day fits the stream. His friends pop in like recurring characters, and fights, parties, or emotional moments feel more like episodes than spontaneous moments. The edits, the timing, the build-up, it all adds to the sense that his life's been repackaged for an audience. According to this theory, he isn't just reacting to what unfolds, he's engineering it. The whole vibe feels like reality TV with Twitch chat instead of commercials. His life's entertainment now, whether he's on a call or tackling a wild challenge. It's not just that people watch, it's that they binge. And this theory claims that's exactly the point. By the way, if you guys like influencer content like this, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, iShowSpeed, the hyper-reality persona theory. This theory suggests that Speed's not just putting on a show, he's become the show. After years of streaming nearly every part of his life, the theory argues that his sense of self has merged with his online persona. His reactions aren't just over the top for views, they're his default now. Screaming at a game, crying over a goal, or sprinting off camera isn't strategy anymore, it's instinct. Fans think the line's completely gone. The theory claims that because he started so young and stayed online so long, he never really built a difference between on and off. Everything's treated like a clip, and every moment feels like it's built for maximum shareability. His life plays out like he's always midstream, even when the camera's off. Supporters of the theory believe he's in a kind of loop, performing because he's real, and real because he's performing. Nothing feels toned down, nothing's casual. It's all energy, all volume, all the time. According to this theory, Speed didn't create a persona, he became it. He's not faking anything, he's just living in a hyper-reality built by the internet, where everything has to be louder, faster, and more extreme to feel like it matters. Adin Ross, the digital cult leader theory. This theory paints him as more than just a streamer, it casts him as a kind of digital cult leader. Not in the spooky, robe-wearing sense, but in the way his streams revolve around loyalty, drama, and deep parasocial ties. His fans aren't there for polished content or game highlights, they're there for the evolving lore. Every unbanning, every argument with a guest, every beef or platform jump gets folded into a running mythology. It's not a stream, it's a saga. The theory argues that Adin's strength isn't content, it's control. He knows exactly how to stir tension, reward loyalty, and keep eyes locked, even when the stream looks like chaos. Viewers feel like they're part of an inner circle, like they have insider knowledge about how things really work. That closeness fuels engagement and keeps people invested way past the content itself. Drama doesn't derail him, it's baked into the whole thing. According to the theory, his brand thrives on blurred lines and emotional buy-in. The stream doesn't end, it just moves to the next chapter. And whether fans love him or hate him, they're still tuning in like members of a never-ending digital congregation. Logan Paul, the infinite redemption loop theory. This theory argues his career isn't just full of comebacks, it's built on them. The pattern's too consistent to ignore. A scandal explodes, he apologizes, reinvents himself, grabs a wave of new success, then somehow crashes again. over and over. The theory suggests Logan's not chasing stability. He's caught in a loop where downfall and redemption are actually part of the strategy. Every controversy brings more headlines than his clean wins ever do. The boxing rebrand, the crypto drama, the podcast glow up, each one followed something messy. According to the theory, this isn't a coincidence. It's a cycle that keeps his name in the algorithm, with each redemption arc making him look more resilient and marketable. The internet loves a comeback more than consistency, and Logan's figured out how to ride that wave, whether he knows it or not. Supporters of the theory say he's not sabotaging himself. He's feeding a system that turns backlash into exposure, and exposure into cash. The pattern's profitable. The falls are loud, the apologies get clicks, and the rebounds come with new deals and bigger reach. If the theory's right, Logan isn't stuck. He's looping through the only game the internet never stops rewarding. Jake Paul, the manufactured villain arc theory. This theory claims he didn't stumble into controversy, he sprinted toward it with a game plan. From the early Team 10 chaos to picking fights in and out of the boxing ring, Jake's career fits a classic villain arc. The theory says he figured out fast that outrage pays better than approval. He leaned into being disliked because the algorithm doesn't care why you're watching, just that you are. Like a wrestling heel, every move feels calculated to provoke, to spark reaction, to keep him center stage. When he trolls, challenges legends, or runs his mouth online, it's not aimless, it's strategy. The theory argues that hate became his fuel, and the louder the backlash, the bigger his brand grew. Fans might show up to see him lose, but they still show up. The negativity isn't a side effect, it's the product. Jake positioned himself as the loudest, most divisive guy on the platform and reaped the attention like profit. Even when people claim they're done with him, they keep watching, commenting, reacting. According to the theory, he built a career by weaponizing dislike and turned being the bad guy into the most reliable marketing plan on the internet. KSI, the Controlled Chaos Strategist Theory. This theory claims he's not just surviving chaos, he's steering it. While others crash and rebuild, KSI seems to cruise through controversy with barely a scratch. The theory suggests that's no accident. His drama feels deliberate, like it's been calibrated in advance. Whether it's a feud, a viral clip, or an edgy joke, nothing spirals too far. It stirs things up just enough to get traction, then cools off before it becomes damaging. Fans believe he's reading the crowd constantly, studying how people react, and tweaking his next move to keep momentum without setting everything on fire. He'll poke the line, then pull back before anyone can cancel him. According to the theory, that balance is the real strategy. He never plays squeaky clean, but he never loses control either. The controversy becomes a feature, not a flaw. Even his career pivots, music, boxing, business, land right after he's stirred up attention. It keeps him relevant, but always on his own terms. While others gamble with outrage, KSI turns it into a tool. The theory sees him not as a loose cannon, but a strategist in the middle of the storm, making sure the chaos works for him, not the other way around. XQC, the algorithmic implosion theory. This theory says the chaos isn't accidental, it's the point. His streams look messy, but behind the rapid-fire reactions and constant switches is a strategy built for maximum visibility. The theory argues XQC knows exactly how to trigger clip culture. Every emotional outburst, weird take, or sudden shift becomes a viral fragment. It's not about making long-form masterpieces, it's about flooding the timeline with non-stop moments that feel too wild not to share. The more erratic he gets, the more clips explode across shorts feeds, TikTok edits, and reaction threads. According to the theory, he's not falling apart. He's feeding a machine that rewards volatility with reach. Viewers don't need context, just 5 seconds of XQC freaking out or roasting something. And the stream never stops, so there's always something new to grab. It's like he's turned unpredictability into an export. The theory even suggests he understands the algorithm better than he lets on. Not through planning, but through instinct built over years of non-stop streaming. He doesn't tidy it up because the mess is the content. If this theory holds, then XQC isn't spiraling. He's building a content hurricane that never runs out of clips to spin. Sneako, the exile prophet theory. This theory argues his rise didn't stall after bans, it accelerated. Getting removed from platforms didn't push him out, it locked people in. According to the theory, Sneako tapped into a formula where getting silence builds loyalty. The more he's pushed out, the stronger his audience believes he's saying something too real for the mainstream. It's not just content anymore, it's identity. The theory claims every ban becomes proof of concept. Every exile reinforces the narrative that he's the outsider rebel with hidden truth, and that gives his audience a reason to stay plugged in. People stop watching casually and start watching like it's a movement. The forbidden content energy becomes his brand fuel, pushing clips across all platforms and private circles where engagement runs hotter. Fans don't just watch, they defend. The theory says Sneako profits not despite exile, but because of it. Getting banned doesn't silence him, it validates him. And the more he leans into that narrative, the more his brand grows beyond the platforms that tried to contain it. According to this view, the controversy doesn't kill the career, it hardens it. Sneako turned cancellation to a loyalty generator and built his entire model around it. Pokimane, the parasocial mirror theory. This theory argues she became something more complicated than a creator. She turned into a parasocial mirror. Her fan base isn't just watching, they're projecting. Every move she makes, whether it's taking a break, sharing an opinion, or setting personal boundaries, ends up filtered through thousands of emotional expectations. The theory says the drama isn't driven by what she does, but by what viewers think she should do. It turns normal behavior into internet-wide debates. If she's too online, it's attention-seeking. If she pulls back, it's seen as abandonment. According to the theory, she's trapped in a cycle where her actions keep reflecting audience feelings back at them, creating controversy she didn't start. Fans build up an idea of who she's supposed to be, and when reality doesn't match, they lash out. The theory suggests she became a kind of emotional screen, where people see their own issues, beliefs, and biases instead of just a streamer. The reaction storms aren't about Pokimane, they're about the parasocial feedback loop surrounding her. The tighter the bond, the more distorted the image gets. According to this theory, she's not sparking conflict. She's just stuck absorbing it, no matter what she does. Charli D'Amelio, the accidental icon theory. This theory argues she didn't chase fame, she got swept into it because the internet needed someone like her. As TikTok exploded, Charli became the perfect symbol for what people imagined stardom could look like. Familiar, low drama, and approachable. The theory suggests her rise wasn't powered by viral genius or a calculated image. It was the timing, the platform, and the audience's need to elevate someone who felt relatable. Charli didn't just dance. She became a blank canvas for millions of users to project onto. The theory claims her popularity was built less on who she is and more on what she represented, a regular person suddenly placed under a spotlight. She wasn't marketed as an influencer, she was adopted by the app as a cultural mascot. That made her both wildly popular and strangely anonymous at the same time. According to the theory, her fame was accidental but not random. TikTok users turned her into a shared ideal of what early platform success looked like, and that made her an icon by default. The moment was bigger than the person, and Charli ended up embodying it simply by existing in the right place, at the right scroll. Alix Earle, the relatable glamour illusion theory. This theory argues her whole appeal sits on a razor-thin illusion, chaotic enough to feel real, polished enough to feel aspirational. She's stunning? Sure, but she doesn't act like she knows it. Instead, she's running late, losing stuff, oversharing in the bathroom mirror, and somehow still looking perfect doing it. The theory says that mix isn't accidental, it's a calculated contrast that hooks people hard. She presents like a glamorous friend whose life is always slightly spiraling, and viewers eat it up. The chaos feels relatable, but the setting is still filtered, styled, and lit just right. According to the theory, it's not just that people like her, it's that they feel like they know her. That false intimacy makes the connection stronger than most influencers, with similar aesthetics. Fans stick around because it feels like watching a friend who makes disasters look fun. The relatability doesn't challenge her image, it reinforces it. It softens the glamour, makes it digestible, and convinces viewers they're in on it. The theory suggests that by blending those extremes, Alix created a brand that doesn't look like branding, and a persona that feels too genuine to question, which is exactly why it works. Alex Cooper, the confessional power broker theory. This theory claims she didn't just make a podcast, she built a confessional empire where vulnerability works like a power move. By blending therapy speak, personal oversharing, and high-profile guests, she created an atmosphere that feels raw, even when it's been tightly edited. The theory argues she's mastered the balance between curated content and emotional exposure, where the truth doesn't have to be exact as long as it feels authentic. Listeners are drawn in by the tone, not necessarily the facts. According to the theory, she turned honesty into performance art, packaging messiness in a way that still feels intimate. Every wild story, emotional breakdown, or celebrity confession is delivered in a setting that feels casual, but has the reach of a media empire. Fans believe the real product isn't the truth, it's the emotional connection. The theory suggests she's not just sharing, she's controlling the narrative in a way that makes her look vulnerable while staying firmly in charge. That mix of exposure and strategy gives her influence over both fans and guests. If the theory holds, Alex Cooper didn't just create a space for real talk, she turned the illusion of transparency into a brand with power. Nickmercs, the Fallen Titan theory. This theory says his downfall wasn't explosive, it was quiet. At one point, he was everywhere. Top of the charts. Massive fan base, known across the gaming world. But then, without vanishing, he just started feeling distant. According to the theory, Nick didn't crash, he got outpaced. Streaming evolved, platforms splintered, and the content meta kept shifting. While newer creators chased chaos and short-form virality, Nick stuck with what had always worked for him. The theory claims that decision aged him overnight in internet years. He stayed loyal to battle royales while the genre cooled off. He built on Twitch as viewers scattered across YouTube, Kick, and beyond. And when controversy hit, it didn't cancel him, it just cracked his once unshakable fan base into fragments. Fans didn't leave all at once, but the buzz faded. His numbers stayed respectable, but the cultural presence shrank. The theory sees him as a symbol of what happens when online evolution speeds up and creators stand still. Nick wasn't irrelevant because he got worse, he just didn't keep morphing with the internet's chaos. He didn't fall. The scene just kept rising, shifting into something faster, louder, and messier than the foundation he built on could hold. Nelk, the Cult of Excess theory. This theory claims they didn't just build a channel, they built an entire belief system around doing whatever they want. It's not about pranks, or partying, or even YouTube itself. According to the theory, Nelk crafted an alternate reality where money never runs out, consequences barely exist, and every moment feels cinematic. Fans aren't just watching wild stunts, they're watching a world where excess is the rule, not the exception. The jet rides, the chaotic parties, the merch drops that feel like rituals, it all feeds into this illusion that Nelk isn't just a brand, it's a movement. The theory argues that the bigger and louder the content gets, the deeper the audience buys into it. It's lifestyle content taken to a cartoon level where even the mess feels meaningful. Controversy doesn't hurt them, it powers the machine. Every canceled trip, viral backlash, or public fight just reinforces the idea that they don't play by anyone else's rules. According to this theory, Nelk's success comes from selling a version of freedom so exaggerated it feels like fiction. They're not documenting reality, they're curating a fantasy of absolute control, and their audience keeps tuning in to feel like part of it.